How's it going, everyone? This is DoctorJefe, and welcome to another CK3 tutorial. In this video, we're going to be finishing up the Land of Rus achievement, and as you can see, it's a fairly easy achievement to get. It took less than 60 years in game time to get to the point where we can click the button. Let's just go over here, We're about to click the button to create the Empire of Russia, put the Rurikid dynasty on the Emperor's seat, and it took me about 3 to 4 hour sessions, and I think, I was playing a little bit slow because this is my first time playing as Tribal in Crusader Kings 3, and dealing with the election system was just something I was handling, but I'm sure it could be done much more quickly than that. So, if you watched the first one, you're probably wondering how we got from, the Kingdom of Gardariki, please correct my pronunciation, I'm sure I'm butchering it, to the Kingdom of Bjarmaland. And if we go back and look at our lineage, we were playing as King Helgi. When he died, it actually went to our uncle, who was the King of Bjarmaland. So the nice thing about the succession is that you can, let's see if we can click into the election for the Scandinavian elective. So you can choose anyone who has a claim, and when the kingdom split up due to me mismanaging the election, I could actually put my brother as the elector instead of my son. So that way he, as the King of Bjarmaland, could inherit the other two kingdoms that I currently held. So that is the nice thing about elective. If you screw it up in one inheritance, you can kind of fix it in the second one, if you can get everyone to vote for you. Now, wrangling your vassals voting, it was a little bit obtuse to me at first, but I have a little bit better of an idea on how to do it. So one thing you can do is, their opinion of you. Like, I trust the judgment of a ruler. I like plus 100. It's going to be less for this guy who only has plus 24, but sending a gift is huge. I'm paying 28 gold and gaining 207 opinion. Now, this character does have, high diplomacy lifestyle. He has the thoughtful perk, which gains 100% opinion boost from sending a gift. So that's pretty awesome. But even if we didn't have that, if we halved the amount of opinion boost that we could get, it's still pretty big. And we just send the gift, and now, well, it doesn't update. Like, this number doesn't update right away, but you can see that the bonuses do update. Plus 100. I mean, that's going to be huge in getting people to vote for your guy. Another thing that you can do to increase their opinion of you is, if they are a child ruler, you can become their guardian. That gives a nice bonus, and it also gives a bonus to the support that they give for you. And you can also, for adult rulers, you can make them the guardian of your wards. So if you have any daughters or granddaughters, basically like any sons that you don't really care about, which, is pretty likely since you're going to be a ruler with several concubines. I already have 8 children. Too many kids, really, to know what to do with. Just send them out as wards to other rulers for that opinion bonus. And finally, if you can't get everyone to agree on who the leader should be, as you can see, everyone's voting for Mr. Gudmundur Helgeson. If you can't get everyone to agree, just switch everyone to the guy who you can agree on. So actually, this guy wasn't my first choice, my half-brother, but all these other electors in Bjarmaland would not switch over from him. I mean, he wouldn't switch over from himself, obviously. He just loves himself too much. So I just voted for him in all the 3 other kingdoms, and everyone else fell in line. So that's just what worked for me. And considering that you do this so quickly, you're only going to really have to worry about 3 successions. So not too long of having to deal with the election game. Now, looking back at the buildings, I was saying before that, you should really build the gathering halls buildings in your counties. The nice thing about election is that your counties that are in the kingdoms for being elected are under the election succession don't get broken up during the Confederate partition. So it's nice to be able to continue to build these places up. Palisades, I really did not need that. In fact, these holdings never got sieged. They're pretty far in from where you first start off, which is you pretty much have control of all these lands when you start. So no one's really coming in this way. I allied Estonia, so they weren't attacking me from the side. And once you get big enough, no one's really coming in and sieging your main holdings anymore. You're the one who's going out and sieging and just crushing all the other armies. So building palisades, not really useful. Definitely go with those gathering halls buildings for more prestige, and the war camps for more soldiers, more knights. That's really awesome. Another thing I noticed when expanding is that actually, let's see if we can see these old guys. Going down the martial path, like having martial leaders, was really useful, especially the sappers perk. So this gives plus 0.1 for your men-at-arms, including archers and skirmishers, as well as spearmen. But that was really huge in sieges. So looking at the men-at-arms, you know, you have 5 skirmishers, a couple of bowmen. That's you know, another plus 0.7, maybe plus 0.8 to a siege. And considering you have like a base of 1.0, that's doubling your siege time. I found actually with these 2 rulers who are not, you can see he's got, you know, he was a stewardship guy. This guy is diplomacy. He's currently on medicine focus right now, mostly because I needed to keep him alive because he's obese, which has a huge health penalty. So I didn't want him to die right when we're so close to forming Russia. But yeah, having rulers who are not of the martial lifestyle really made those sieges take a long time, and the expansion was heavily slowed down for those final territories. So trying to get people elected who have that martial lifestyle could really speed up the pace at which you can form the Empire of Russia. And so in terms of the actual conquest, what I would do is, until I could reach the 3rd level of fame, Illustrious, where you can get the Conquered Duchy Casus Belli, I would just conquer counties. There's still plenty of 1 province minors for me to conquer. Or perhaps there was, you know, someone who only controlled 1 county within the empire. So you can see that, you know, the Samogitya, they control more than 1 county, but there was some other people who they've ended up eating up who only controlled 1 county within de jure Empire of Russia. And then after you do 2 or 3 of those wars, you should have gained enough prestige by hosting feasts and calling hunts to get to the 3rd level of fame, and then you conquer duchies. And finally, you know, I saved up enough prestige to conquer Turov. This was, he controlled 9 counties, so I did the subjugate. What's the name of the casus belli? Subjugate. Oh, you just subjugate whatever the person's name is. That got us 9 more counties, got us enough to get to the Empire of Russia. So all that's left to do is click the button and get the achievement. Yeah, make sure you have 300 gold. Definitely make sure you have that. I have a new heir. And, well, for some reason the achievement isn't popping up, but I'm pretty sure maybe... Yep, there we go. I had to unpause the game for it to load. And, of course, we get an event right when I unpause the game. Alright, throw somebody in prison. But yeah, that's the Land of Rus achievement. Hope you guys found this series of videos useful, and I, you know, really encourage you to go out and get this achievement. It was really fun to play as a tribal leader. I think, you know, I wasn't too circumspect in how I managed my vassals. I still have under, well, 40 for the kingdom, but now under 60 for the empire. But probably if I would continue playing this, I'd have to do a little bit more vassal management, maybe expand to take the other Asatru holy sites, reform the faith, you know, convert from tribal to feudalism, all that going forward into the late game. But I think I'll leave this Emperor, the Emperor of Rus, Emperor of Russia, play through here. So until next time, please do remember, as always, to take care of yourself.